It's December 14th. Have I started my Christmas shopping? No, I have not. Do I know what I'm getting, everybody? Not a single clue. But are the Kings playing great hockey? Yes, they are. Welcome back to Kings This Week. My name is Jordan Kiss, and it's a pretty straightforward episode of Kings This Week here. Not much to get into. Of course, the Kings coming off 2 big wins on the weekend. We'll start our show off with that. 2 more games to come before the Christmas break this weekend, and if any other news or any breaking news happens, we'll share that as well. So let's just get right into it with our weekend recap. Friday marked the beginning of the end for the Kings' 8-game homestand as they took on the Surrey Eagles for the final 2 home games of the 2022 calendar and the homestand. Kings were 3-3 in the homestand through the first 6, coming off an 8-2 victory over the Cowichan Valley Capitals, while the Eagles, who won the first meeting against the Kings by a score of 7-0 in November, were coming off a OT loss to Chilliwack as they had an 18-5-1 record coming into this doubleheader. But it was the Kings getting off to the early hot start in this one, just 3 minutes and 16 seconds in. Cam Simons on a breakaway to the backhand. He shoots and he scores, as that would be Simons' 5th of the season, as he extended his point streak to 9 games and also extended his goal scoring streak to 4 games as the Kings took the 1-0 lead. But late in the first period, the Eagles would manage to tie it. Ross Rollison with the shot. It would hit a body in front. It would come to Zach Wagner right in front of the net. Has a lot of room. He puts it in for his 9th as we were all square after the first period. Now, in the second period, the Kings off to another quick start. Sam Schoenfeld blocks the clearing attempt, finds former Surrey Eagle Alex Santu down low, goes to the backhand over Eli Pulver for his first as a King against his former team, as he puts his new team up by a score of 2-1. That goal coming 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the second period. The Kings had that 2-1 lead going into the third, and in the third period, getting a little puck luck first off here. 7:43 in. Casey Yaman down the left wing, goes to the net, tries to make the cross ice pass, goes off the stick of former King Ross Rollison into the back of the net. 3-1 Kings. And then just over a minute later, Jack Blanchett, long wrist shot from the point, off another former King and Ethan Reister. Back behind Pulver, Jack Blanchett's 9th, which leads all BCHL defensemen, as that put the Kings up by a score of 4-1, as they made it look easy Friday night against the Eagles with a 4-1 victory. Kings out shooting Surrey 36-25 in that game, while Cal Metzen, another sensational night for him and his brand new green pads, making 24 saves in the win. After the Kings cruised to a 4-1 win on Friday, the Kings would have one more battle with the Eagles Saturday, as it would be the final home game of the calendar year of 2022, as the Kings look to finish their homestand with a winning record and also pick up their first 3-game win streak of the season. And the Kings started Saturday right where they left off on Friday with another early goal, 3:40 in, 2-on-1. Max Poffin to Carter McNarland scores his 5th, 1-0 Kings. Then 2 minutes later, Dylan Hewlett at the blue line cuts down the right side, splits the Eagles defenders, finds Anthony Lucarelli in front. He buries home his 7th, as 5 minutes in this game, it is a 2-0 Kings lead. Then 5 minutes later, Dylan Hewlett again from the blue line. Long wrist shot, rebound, left, right to Anthony Hugh. His 12th, as the Kings are up 3-0 halfway through the first period. Fire start for the Kings. But 90 seconds after the Kings made it 3-0, Eagles go in on a 2-on-1 of their own. Cole Galata over to Jake Bongo. He scores his 12th, as it was 3-1 Kings after the first period. Kings out shooting the Eagles 19-5 in that opening frame. In the second period, the Eagles woke up. 50 seconds in, Jacob Bonkowski off the turnover by the Kings in their own end. 2 whacks at it, scores his 13th of the season. It is 3-2 Pal River. Then at 10:01, Zach Wagner to Ante Zlomazlik to Trent Wilson finishes off the pretty passing play with the tip over Cal Metzen. It was 3-3. That would be Wilson's 1st of the season. Then, 4 minutes later, Ethan Reister off the rush, keeps it, shoots it, as the former King scores, making up for his gaffe from the night before. That would be his 9th, as it was 4-3 Eagles in a quiet Hap Parker arena. But the Kings resilient in this one, Just over a minute after the Eagles took the lead, Sam Belanger with the long shot. It would hit Eagles defenseman Tate Taylor in front and sneak past Michael Sochan, as that will be Sam Belanger's first of the season, second career BCHL goal, as we were all squared at 4. Then in the dying seconds, the absolute dying seconds of the period, the puck comes to Ryder Ringer. Again with the shot, hits the body, sneaks through Michael Sochan again as Ryder Ringer scores his third of the season. But on the play, the Kings would lose a big important piece as Parker Lalonde would go down in the corner. We'll have a little bit more on his status later on this show, as the Kings were up 5-4 after 2 periods. Now in the third period, the Kings down with Parker Lalonde. They were also out with Cam Simons, who got in a fight with Cole Galata in the second period. So the Kings were down to 9 forwards as the Eagles pressed for the equalizer. They had their chances. Kyle Metzen, solid in the third period after a not so great second period for him. Kept his team in it, kept his team in front, as the Kings would add 2 empty netters from Nick Bricketta and Anthony Lucarelli, as the Kings would go on to win by a score of 5-4. Anthony Lucarelli, 3 points for him on the night, as long as well Dylan Hewlett, 2 points as well with the 2 assists in the first period, as the Kings finish off their 8-game homestand with a winning record of 5-3. So after a month of being on home ice, the Kings returned to the road this weekend for their final 2 games before Christmas break. It also marked the first of 4 straight road games for the Kings as they head to the island for the second time this season. It was way back in week 2 of the year, the last time the Kings were there, when they came away with victories in Nanaimo and Alberni. So it'll get started this Friday in Cowichan as they take on the Capitals for the second time this season. It was the Kings winning the first battle 8-2 a little over a week ago. The Capitals coming to this one last place in the BCHL with a record of 6-18-1-1, and have dropped their last 7 games in a row as they return home after a long road trip to the interior last weekend, with 2 games falling short 6-3 in Prince George to the Spruce Kings on Friday. Then on Saturday they got shut out by the Merritt Centennials by a score of 6-0. That game will start at 7 o'clock. Then on Saturday, the final game before the Christmas break, the Kings will head to Victoria for the first time this season. It was the Kings taking the first 2 meetings back here at home to kick off that 8-game homestand by a score of 7-2 and 2-1. Well, since then, the Grizzlies have gone on to have a record of 5-1-1, including 3 straight shutout victories, all of them by Oliver Au Young Ashton, as the Grizzlies have won their last 2 home games in shutout fashion against the Capitals and the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. The Grizzlies are coming into this one, coming off a 3-3 on the mainland last weekend, going 1-1 over those 3 with games in Coquitlam, Chilliwack, and Langley, as this game on Saturday will be slated to start at 7 o'clock. Now, I did mention at the weekend recap there, Parker Lalonde going down with injury on the game-winning goal by Ryder Ringer. Did not return to that one. And as of right now, there is no update on the extent of his injury, but I can confirm that he will not be in the lineup this weekend for the Kings. So we're hoping for a quick and speedy recovery for Parker Lalonde. And there we go. As mentioned at the top of the show, pretty straightforward episode of Kings this week. We will be back next week for one more episode before the new year, as we will recap the 2 games this weekend against the Capitals and the Grizzlies, and then preview the 2 games right before New Year's, December 30th in Victoria and December 31st in Alberni. Until then, if you're somebody like me and you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, why not give the gift of Kings hockey? Our office is still open. We're selling merchandise. We're selling tickets, single game tickets, flex passes. Of course, we have that special deal on season tickets for our 11 home games remaining in 2023. If you've got a Kings fan in your family, give them the gift of Kings hockey. You can stop by our office on weekdays, except this Friday, to purchase whatever you want for your Christmas gifts, maybe some perfect stocking stuffers as well. So yeah, that will pretty much be it. Kings 2 more games before the Christmas break this weekend. Friday in Duncan against the Capitals, Saturday in Victoria against the Grizzlies. Both of those will start at 7 o'clock. Pre-game show on the Kings Broadcast Network, BCHL TV, and MixLR starting at 6:45 with yours truly. So until then, we'll talk to you again next week. My name is Jordan Kiss. Go Kings, go.